Hey everyone. Um, this is Calvin. I'm talking with and I got Cameron and Joe.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
How are you guys doing?
doing pretty good. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
doing really good, really well.
All right. Yeah, thanks for talking with me. Like I said, I'd seen you guys play around in the like Albuquerque area, and yeah, I have your the EP right here.
Oh, nice. That's
Oh, there you
that's
go. Right
that's
on.
awesome. Hell yeah. Gonna get you some merch out there.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen you guys play, so I, been aware of you guys, and I was glad you guys reached out to talk with me. Um, yeah, I haven't really been doing much of these because I have a 1 year old like kind of running around here,
Oh,
so I kind of keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Um, so if I hit mute, that's probably because my son's crying.
oh, okay.
Um, but but if you guys want to introduce yourselves, and kind of like your role in the band, um, for people to hear, listeners out there.
I don't know. I'm Joey Chavez. I'm the guitarist and vocalist for the band.
And my name is Cameron Bell. I'm the awesome guy. I'm the awesome dude in the band. I'm just kidding. No, I'm the guitarist, and I'm the guy that books the shows and everything like that, and hopefully try to get along with everybody, which actually has been pretty rad though too. But yeah, guitarist by.
Yeah, and you guys also, your drummer, he's not here, but he was also in the band. Can you introduce him?
Uh,
Yeah. He's my little brother. His name is Michael Bell. We call him Pickles though. He's the drummer of the band, and he's been kicking ass, honestly.
Awesome.
Pretty gnarly.
uh, yeah, yeah, you guys, I've seen you guys play a few times, and um I guess, what would you, or how would you describe I as a band in terms of the music you guys play?
that's a hard one. I don't know. I guess we just call ourselves metal because we're not really sure where to put like a finger on like what genre or subgenre. But it's mostly like death metal mixed with like some prog and deathcore stuff. It's just like a mix of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
that definitely.
I was gonna say I hear a lot of like death metal. So I put like these posters up behind me just
Oh,
because
cool.
I know you guys open for these bands, so I didn't have any posters of I, so I just put up posters of the bands you guys played with. But yeah, I hear a lot of death metal, and you guys also play on a lot of like death metal shows, like when you guys are um playing around Albuquerque.
Yeah, mostly death metal bills. A lot of yeah, mostly death metal, huh, Cam? And like some deathcore bands too, I think. So even some slam stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we would like to jump on a lot of death metal shows, but at the same time, I think through experience, we like a lot of different genres to play on shows though too, because they have more of a, I guess, like an energy that they give because they don't hear that kind of music. But yeah, we just that's what's our music that we do and what we play, but we're open to a lot of anything actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to kind of start from the beginning, can you kind of talk about when the band started and how the band started?
Um
That's definitely got to go with Joe on that one.
so the band started pretty much about 10 years ago. Back in 2013. I actually took a hiatus from music for like maybe like 3 or 4 years because I don't know, I was just getting couldn't I don't know, just got a little stale for me at the time for the old scene, and then I just started writing songs here and there, and then I got some guys around together. It was a three piece actually when we started, and then started writing songs and then just fully writing songs by myself. I never really done that before. I was doing songwriting on myself back in 2013. And then of course the lineup changed here and there and then different sound, how your sound evolves over time. And then finally got Cameron and Pickles in the band, and that's pretty much where we're at now. But yeah, it's been 10 years. I think Cameron's been in the band for about 5 now, I think. And Pickles like 3, I think.
Yeah. Were you always like in the Albuquerque area, or did you
um
start somewhere else?
yeah, well, like with this band, yeah, we always been here in Albuquerque. Um because I'm from San Diego Pueblo, so we always kind of it's right near like it's like at the outskirts of Albuquerque. So we're like right there. So we mostly just played like our first shows in Albuquerque. Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned Joe, you're from Sandia Pueblo. How about you, Cameron? Are you um from any of the tribal areas out there, or
Well, I was raised out here in Albuquerque, but I'm half Navajo and half Choctaw. I was born in Mississippi, Meridian, Mississippi, way out there in the south. That's way out
nice?
there. Yeah, but yeah, I joined in about 5 years ago and just been tagging along, and we've been making music and everything like that. It's been pretty fun, actually, pretty cool, and understand what Joe does, and especially though too, we have some travel things going on too. This I think that makes it more easier because we understand this. Like we have travel stuff going on. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, just joining this band after that. It's been expanding on music writing and everything like that though too. Because I have my own style, and this one opened my eyes on that one. So it's been pretty rad.
Um, I wanted to ask about your brother. You mentioned he plays drums, Cameron. Did you and your brother like jam out together like before you joined I, or did he kind of join like after you joined, or did he start playing after you joined I?
Um, I'll say he was into music during the time, and like he was more interested in like EDM and stuff like that. And I don't want to like push anything on him, but eventually he was asking for a bass, so I was like, "Oh, I'll give him a bass guitar." And then when he joined the band, he was doing bass guitar actually at first, and then he started liking the music and the feeling and playing shows and everything like that until we lost our last drummer. We were looking and looking and looking, and eventually he was just like, "You know what? I can do the drums. I'm pretty sure he can." And it's been about almost 2 years now. And I'll say I'm very proud of him right now because it's so surprising how good he got, like so fast and everything. And for music wise, yeah, I didn't push anything on him to do shows. It was just kind of like, I think he just grew up in that environment, like just hanging out with me and everything like that. Going to local shows, going to big shows, going to just anything with music. And he kind of just automatically got hooked on it on himself. But yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
really
I always like it when there's like siblings in the band. Like a lot of like bands I listen to. I don't know. It just seems like having siblings in the band. There's like cool like chemistry or dynamic that you guys can kind of feel each other, or you can like especially with writing the music, you can you know I don't know. I always like read about
Yeah.
bands with siblings like the band Decapitated. I think like there was like the guitarist and the drummer were siblings, and like they would write their music and it just flowed together really fast. Like I guess just because like they grew up listening to the same stuff, and they
Yeah.
can write their parts that complement one another. Like I just thought that's cool.
Yeah. I always like that duo, like even like Gojira, the drummer and the vocalist, they're brothers, and I think it like they almost know what there's like what makes sense when they write together or something.
Yeah, it's like even go older back. You do Pantera with Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, Van Halen with
Mm.
Eddie Van Halen and Alex. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah, there's a lot of good ones, a lot of classic bands.
Uh,
And then just kind of going into like the band's background a little more. When when I guess Joey, when you started writing the music, like what were some of the bands that inspired you or influenced you like
uh,
back then? And then I guess Cameron can also answer about like the influences that are playing a role now.
um, so when I first started writing, I was listening to a lot of like Hypocrisy, Gojira, and yeah, that's the only thing I can think of right now. But I don't know why every time we ask this, like I get like a blank, like I can't think of band names. Decapitated a lot too throughout the years. Uh, Fit for an Autopsy is another one. I just like Cali Cap too, but I was really trying to like find my own sound or something. So I was really trying to like just try to stay open minded and try to write differently to stand out in like with from my peers a little bit. And so I think at first a lot of people thought it was weird the way I wrote because it was different. It wasn't just like riff, 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 riff. I was trying to like learn how to songwrite. So over the years is just like songwriting and trying to make it different. I don't know. It's a weird way to describe it. Uh but yeah, that's just like those bands, and they're still current today. Like I'm still listening to the same stuff pretty much, but the new hour albums. And then the way I listen to music is like how do they bridge into this part, or how do they get out of that fast part into a slower part? Like what tools are they using to like make it make sense, so it's not just an abrupt jump. And I try to incorporate that in our songs too, just like, okay, like I don't want to just I want people to remember us when they leave the show. I don't want them to be like, oh, that one song that's on like six other songs. I want them to be like, I like that song that was like da 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 da, where they can memorize the riff. And that's kind of like how I studied music, and with all the bands that I listed, they were like really unique in how they wrote stuff. So yeah. And
yeah, that's definitely understandable now too because my music taste is like way crazy, way different than just listening to like heavy stuff. I mean, I'm into like like Metallica, Slayer, Turnstile, Depeche Mode, Rammstein. I'm into like a bunch of different music. And he was right though too about some points when you listen to music, it starts becoming predictable after a while. You start listening to a lot of certain bands and different music. He's like, okay, here's gonna be this, and here's the melody part, here's the solo part. It's kind of like that, and it's just like when you're writing something, it can be easy to write, honestly. But if you want to like start making like originals, that's when the creativity comes in, and that's when it starts to become difficult because, and actually, that's why I like when I joined this band because of the things I would not think of. You know, I can write a simple riff like pretty easy, but the stuff that we write, it just and we don't even try to. It just sort of happens, and we just let it take us on our way, pretty much, and the song becomes what it is, which is great. So yeah, so the genre that I listen to is just completely different. And with this music, I feel like it's it's definitely something else, which made me just gravitate it more and more and just get invested into make more music with this band.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I can definitely hear a lot of groove in you guys' music, like especially with like um what Joey said about trying to make something that people will remember. I can definitely hear that in the music with a lot of the grooves and
thank you.
yeah, stuff that you can bang your head to. Um, I was wondering, since you guys come from like a Native American background, like how much would you say like your I guess your community, like the native community, how much that influenced you, and if any, like in your music.
You want to answer that one first, Cam?
Um, Honestly, probably the only one that really brought back to home and for the community of a with a native background is probably Void. I mean, there's a lot of uh, yeah, it's our song that we haven't released yet, but
Yeah,
we use that
it's going to
for
come out soon.
huh?
It's coming out soon for sure. We've been saying that forever.
I know, but no, yeah, it's just for the people that like your friends, your family, of who you lost and who you couldn't see anymore. So we try and uh, when Joe made that song, it meant something to him that happened to him several years ago, and we like to use that for that song for yeah, as I said, just to get out to people that whoever they lost when they lost that person, they're not alone, they're with us, and we like to celebrate that for, of course, our people and everybody that who listens to our music though too, because it sucks out there. That's what I can say about that one for on my part. Yeah.
A little bit on that Void song. Uh, Crap, I almost forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, the Void song. It's coming out soon, and pretty much what the song is about is just the journey into the afterlife, and not to be afraid. It is dark and scary, and but it's just about the transition into the side. Um, but that one's coming out soon. I promise. But for my native side community, because it, it was a little hard at first because traditionally scary sounds and evil sounding stuff is not really accepted in your community. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. So at first, at first glance, they like when I was younger, when I first started this was like 17 years ago. When I first started playing like music, it was kind of frowned upon. There was no support. It's just because it was a new thing in our community because our tribe's so small, and they were kind of like afraid of it because the way it sounds, obviously. And then after you explain to them, they kind of understand. Nowadays it's more like in the mainstream more often, so now it's almost like way different. So like recently, our war chief actually was telling us that we should hold like a music festival like at the park that we have on our tribe. So I was like, that was cool. So it's like going from when I first started to hearing that is like way like I would never even think of that. So like the support is a lot better than it was when I was like a 15-year-old kid, and so that really makes me feel better about it. Like it doesn't feel like I'm doing like I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm like I shouldn't be doing it. So, but yeah, and it's a different time now. So it's just music like this is more acceptable and it's not like considered like a bad thing anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much it from that. Like I never really had too much support when I was younger. It was more like you shouldn't be making those sounds and stuff like that. But it's a lot different nowadays. So and thanks for the support, whoever in my tribe.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed. I mean, this is just. I mean, probably just me getting old, but I noticed that like a lot of the people that I've been talking to on this podcast that their parents were into metal, and so it sounds like a lot of the bands around here had some support, like their parents were into Metallica or their parents were into like Megadeth, and so they got a chance to hear that when they were younger, and parents are, I guess, more supportive. I guess maybe that I don't know if that's just applies to the Navajo tribe, just because that's where I'm at. Um, and then as far as like some of the music you guys recorded, I got your EP. Was there what other releases have you guys been able to put out?
I I don't is Conquer the Conquer of the Week is not on that, right, Cam?
I don't think it is. That
I
was
think
like probably
I think it was after, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Conquer of the Week, Eye for an Eye are separate releases, I think. Is there another one? I can't remember.
I think that was probably it.
I think so. I can't remember. Yeah, those are the last two. Eye for an Eye was the last single we put out like about a year ago, a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah. And I'll say though too, the thing that copy that you got right now is that's the first one because
Yeah.
we came out
Yep.
with the plastic cases and everything like that. But yeah, you got the OG
Yeah,
one.
you have to. I honestly think that's the cooler one because the other ones, my print, because we print and fold those and like cut them up all by ourselves. So like those ones were like kind of a pain. But the other
Yeah.
one, like, I think that one looks cool just because the ones that we have that we're selling still, they're like the reverse of that. So like whatever's black is white and whatever's like lighter is like black. So
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I gotta
yeah,
try to get my hands on that one.
yeah, yeah. I like that one better though because that one just looks cool.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
special edition for I guess what I would
Yeah,
say about it.
yeah, yeah. Because that was
Yeah.
the one where we had to like actually fold it right and then put the CD thing inside of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That exactly fold at those lines
yeah.
that it needs to be at. 'Cause if it didn't, it was gonna be like off center and everything like that.
Yeah, the only reason that we switched the thing is because my printer I kept running out of black ink, so it was just too cost effective. So we just switched to white. That was the only reason.
Yeah, so the one that you got,
That's
it's
cool DIY.
pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I gotta hold on. I gotta pause. My son's crying. Let me
Okay,
take
you're
care of
good.
him really quick.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna act like I'm vaping.
Okay. So hey everybody, how's it going? There's me and Joe. I with the guitarist. Joe's the lead singer, and that CD he showed. If you have that, just leave a like, put a comment saying that you have it, because yeah, those are OG copies. So
Yeah, I
very
think there's only
limited.
like, I don't even think there's that many that was made of that one. I was like maybe like 50 or something. Maybe that 20. I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was like yeah, 15 or 20. It's like that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you have that. That's
Sorry
gonna
about
be
that.
very,
Oh, it's all good.
very rare, very special.
um. Yeah. I guess a side question. So yeah, I noticed like on Spotify, you have a lot of like singles. Along with the EP and the other releases. Um, like how are you guys going to kind of switch to like going focusing on singles, or are you still going to be doing like releases like this?
I don't know. It's really hard with like how music is like sold or listened to nowadays because like nowadays people don't mind single, especially for like in like bands, smaller bands like us, because it takes you can actually like focus on promoting a single or like one song, or you can actually get a music video out and everything like that. When you're doing a whole album, it's hard because sometimes people don't listen to the whole album because it's streamed. So then they just listen to like the hits, and then some of the other songs kind of get thrown to the wayside. But and nowadays the most bigger artists do sell singles now. It's really strange. I don't know because I like having a whole album because I like it's like almost like listening to like a whole idea, I guess. But at the same time, it is easier to put out singles. I don't know. It's really hard to decide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I grew up collecting CDs, so I don't know. I haven't changed my I guess um my habit I guess of like
Yeah,
listening to full albums and CDs, but I don't know. I guess I just that's just I guess I guess a lot of people were probably like that when tapes and records they
no,
didn't want
yeah,
to yeah they probably didn't want to switch to CDs, but yeah I prefer CDs. I don't know, I still have like CD players around here, and yeah I agree with you. It's like I like listening like to the first song all the way to the end. It um and then yeah I noticed that when I stream stuff I tend to just like make playlists and listen to one song
yeah,
from an album, but if I pick up like a whole like CD, then I listen to it from beginning to end. Um, the
see
only
right
yeah
there.
the only trouble is like it's hard to find CD players nowadays.
yeah. True. My computer I'm doing this now on doesn't even have a CD player on it.
Actually, thinking about it now, I think even modern cars they don't even have CD players. You
Mhm.
connect to Bluetooth. But I wish there was more people like you though too that appreciate the physical copy and support the bands and yeah, like you said, listen from the song from start to finish. Like you don't know what you're gonna like. I mean, there's always gonna be a favorite for hits and everything like that, but there's always damn good songs that's just right there that's hiding inside the album and that becomes your favorite. Like everybody's like, oh, I like this song, but like, do you like this song? It's like, what's that? It's like it's on the same album. It's better than that one actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I like the whole like when you get the thing, it's wrapped in the plastic. Opening it, this is always a pain in the ass, but getting that little corner off,
Yeah,
and
there's
then
that experience right there too. Just
yeah, it's
that.
just like the experience of, and then just opening it up and just having that smell of plastic, and then the paper is printed on, and then if the book that comes with a booklet, you get to read the lyrics. There's even sometimes extra artwork inside or
Yeah,
pictures of the band, and just pulling a CD out for the first time where it's just like kind of stiff. I don't know. It's
yeah,
just like a whole experience. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up without. I mean, like I grew up collecting CDs. I went to high school in like 2000 to 2004, so like that
No.
was like when the internet was just now starting to like take over. But back then, like I couldn't like I couldn't like listen to one song. I would have to like just if I heard it on the radio or if I saw or someone told me about it, that's how I would find out about bands. And there'd be a couple times where I would just get a CD just based on the artwork and the
Mm-hmm.
logo and then the song titles. Um, a couple times I would get one and I'd be like really disappointed. I'd be like, man,
Same
this
here.
sucks. I was like a waste of like $20. But
Yeah.
um yeah, it's crazy. I think yeah, the streaming kind of cut that part out where you can like check something out before you like actually purchase it.
Yeah. It's funny because I used to go to Hastings or like a record store, and I would just look at bands I wouldn't even know. I just look at the logo or the artwork, like, oh, it's probably sick, you know. Yeah, I can't remember what band I got, but it was like a Christian death metal band, and I was like, what? I didn't really. I think it started off with like a prayer or something. I didn't really. Yeah, I was like, oh, never mind. That's
Yeah,
cool if you guys like that. But, yeah.
there was one album I remember. I specifically remember. I think it was called the Deadlights. Like
Yeah,
the album cover had like a face like
yeah.
behind like a sheet or a cloth. It looked like a kind of like a ghost coming out of like
Oh,
the
okay.
artwork. And then I thought that was cool. And then the logo was like really like goth looking. So I got it. And then like yeah, I was like bummed out. Like there was like not a good song on there. It was just like some goth like rock new metal. And I was just like, man, that was a waste.
see right there. I think that's the thing that we don't get to talk about because there's not a lot of experiences like that anymore. It's just like you either buy a really good album because of how it looks and just how everything. It's like that moment you're just walking through the yeah like Hastings or like a music store.
Uh,
You're just like it catches your mind. You're just like, oh, what's this? And after there's like, I guess I'll buy it. I'll listen to
yeah.
it.
It's like playing
And
like the metal lottery or something.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a scratch card. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta hit or miss. The one thing cool, yeah, I had Hastings in Flagstaff where I went to high school, and they had like these little listening stations where you go
Oh
and
yeah.
Oh
you can
yeah,
like
yeah. Just listen to
listen
like
to
a
like a
little.
song. Yeah, so I remember that would be really helpful. And I think honestly, just like magazines, I remember reading a lot of like Revolver,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the album review. Like every magazine had like an album review section, so I was big on reading the reviews, and if it got good reviews, then I would try to check it out. But if
Uh,
it got bad reviews, I would avoid it.
yeah, I like the magazines that came with like the CD, like with a bunch of different
Oh,
like
yeah, the
Yeah,
sampler
artists.
CD. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, from
Yeah.
Guitar World or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you
I
see
think
like
it
a
was
little bump
yeah, I think
thingy.
there's one for like Decibel. I think they did one. I can't remember which magazine, but yeah, there was like a bunch
Yeah,
of like death metal stuff, and I was like,
the
damn, this.
the one I used to get was I think it was like Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles
Oh yeah,
BWBK. Yeah, that
yeah,
one
yeah,
had a
yeah.
like
Yep.
a real lot
I,
of
damn, I remember
like
that one.
really underground like crazy death metal.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um yeah, but now you just all you have to do is just like search it on YouTube or
Yeah,
Spotify,
yeah.
And
which I guess is cool. Like, it's easier to find, especially for bands that are not like well known or
Yeah, I guess
underground bands so can get
like
their music heard.
like I think about like what if like we had streaming back then, like the bands that we never ever got a chance to hear because we didn't see it in the stores. Like there might have been some good bands that we just never got a chance to hear.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like rediscovering stuff like that from like the late 90s, early 2000s, like
Yeah.
all like I don't know. There'd be like some band I didn't even know existed that I would like. I don't know. I still like checking out record stores. Like if I go to Phoenix, I like the Zia record store out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll like dig through the 25-cent CD rack and try to find old stuff that I might have missed.
yeah, and I would say actually the first CD I ever bought is not even a metal CD. Actually, I think I was like 11 or 12, and I heard of the Doors. I know the name, but the first CD I ever bought was "Waiting for the Sun" by the Doors, and I was like, why is none of these songs like out there? You know, they only go for "Light My Fire" or "Break On Through the Other Side" and stuff like that. And what's the other one? "Riders on the Storm." And I was like, they have a whole different area that you guys haven't touched yet. And it's so great. They have great music and everything like that. I think it's just like that area of just I would say like experiencing that very moment when you figure out something else, you know, that that people take for granted today. Because as I said, like you can be on the phone, just tap, oh, that's pretty cool, and you can just go to the next thing. You can just go next, next, next. Well, back then you just sit there and just look at it and read it over and over until the next week or the next issue would come out.
I just remembered like another way I used to discover bands would be like I used to like skateboard and then like the skateboarding videos had like
Oh yeah, like
music.
the
They would
music.
yeah they
That
would like
song,
you like I remember hearing like an Iron Maiden song for the first time on like a Zero Skateboards video.
Jamie Foy right
Um
there. That was Jamie Foy.
yeah,
I think I know what you're
Jamie
talking about.
Thomas, yeah, the
Oh,
Halloween
Jamie
by
Thomas.
Name.
Jamie Foy's a
Yeah,
new.
Welcome to Hell, that video.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
like
was,
that I remember that like that would be like a big thing for me. And then also like movie soundtracks. I think my probably my favorite one probably like Spawn, the I think like the 90s live action movie Spawn. And
yeah,
that one had
Yeah.
a lot of really good like bands that are like Korn and like Cold Chamber and I don't know, like Marilyn Manson, and then um the Freddy versus Jason soundtrack too. That was like early 2000s. But yeah, I think that was the first time I ever heard Lamb of God was on the
Oh shit.
Freddy versus Jason soundtrack.
That's cool.
But yeah, that was like pre-internet, so I bet all the people who never experienced that are like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?"
I used to.
when
Go
yeah, when I was younger, 'cause I listened to a whole wide things of music and everything like that, and I like punk too. And the one that really got me to a lot of punk bands with is the SLT Punks with Matthew Lillard and Jason Segel and everything like that. It just that opened that they had so many soundtracks that at the end of the movie, I was just waiting to see who played that when I was younger, and that's how I found out even the punk scene though too. It's just like yeah, it's you find different ways of finding music, and when it's great like that, man, you get hooked right away.
Yeah, I just remembered like you remember like well, I guess video rental stores like when you would rent a movie, sometimes they would put a music video at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Spawn had like three music videos after like the after the movie's over, the credits roll. They're like three
Yeah,
music videos from the soundtrack would play.
yeah, like and then it was like the VHS or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that too. The other thing I used to go to Hastings for is they had like it was hard to find, but like at the end of the like they had like music like movies or videos that was like for music or something. The very bottom, you could find like a compilation of music videos of just death metal stuff. It was like volume 1 through like 10 or something like that. I used to buy those too and just watch music videos. And I don't know. That's how I used to find a bunch of different bands too. Was just buying those things.
Yeah, I think those record labels would like release like nothing but music videos. I think like like nuclear blast would
Yeah.
like have that death is just the beginning, volume 1, volume
Yeah.
2.
It always starts off with that big old mushroom cloud or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And a good
Um,
old ways to find some music too is those mixed compilation things. It's like we're gonna put on these bands on this one. After it was almost like the old school ways. It's like, dude, listen to this album. I'm like, what's this? Like, it's a bunch of different bands, but check it out. I'm like, all right. And
Yeah.
the old school ways is putting word of mouth. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, check this out.
Yeah, I used to go to like back to high school, like school, like the next day, or I find all these bands like, have you heard of this one? And they'll be like, no, have you heard of this one? And it's just like back and forth.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, oh, I have the most underground band. No, I do.
yeah. I stayed at a dorm. It was like a high school dorm for native kids, and yeah, it was like that. Like we would have our CD booklets, and we would try to like outdo one another. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like yeah, one of my friends, my 11th grade year, he like got me into all kinds of like stuff, like Testament and like I don't know, like Iced Earth before like they got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that year. It was almost like a competition, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. We
you
were
get to
trying to find,
sit there and quiet and just hear the pages flip through. Just like, oh, check this out.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But I guess now since I'm kind of out here by myself, well, I mean, I have like my family and stuff, but the way I find music now is I follow like people who collect albums on Instagram. Like,
Oh, okay.
there's like people who like follow like collect records or tapes or CDs, and like I just like scroll and I just look at those album collectors, and if something looks cool or if there's like a cool like caption or review with the albums they're like showing on their Instagram, I'll for sure
Uh,
check it out. That's I guess that's my way of now of
that's cool. I gotta
catching new
check that.
music.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, because I'm always trying to look for new bands. You know, see what.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, there's the one I follow mainly. There's some I think it's like Instagram, like some guy his I think he's like from like I don't know, like Great Britain or Ireland or something.
Uh,
His Instagram handle is like Altars of Madness. He like posts like records and then he'll like write a long review with it. Like
oh, that's
I found
cool.
out a bunch of like albums this year just from following that Instagram account.
That's cool.
I really
Um,
appreciate when people do that though too, because they actually sit there and listen to every song and get their input to how the song or the whole album sounds like though too. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people do that nowadays. It's kind
Yeah.
of like almost like an ancient thing now.
Yeah. It's almost like their attention span is. I'm like, can't handle a whole album.
yeah. Yeah, I tried to do that. I started another Instagram account just for like albums I collect, but I haven't really been putting stuff on that one. I don't know. I kind of just been busy now with my 1 year old son now, but I still like listening to music and yeah, I'm just a big like nerd with this. I guess I have to like yeah, I can't just listen to one song. I gotta listen to the whole album, and I can't just like save it on Spotify. I gotta like if I really like it, I gotta like go out and get it, or I gotta like find it somewhere or order it
Yeah.
somehow. I gotta show like more support.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of
That's
going back
awesome.
to we talked about some of the music you guys put out. What are you guys working on? New music or a new album?
Yeah, we're like writing really like constantly right now. We have almost like a whole other like album almost pretty much. No, Cam.
Yeah. Definitely the songs I hear on there, that was like on the album, it's definitely a point where songwriting that we were at to now it's become more I would say more extreme, but because now we have all the members that can finally start doing more stuff that we couldn't do before,
Yeah.
especially even me. Like I couldn't write the stuff that I'm doing right now. So it's just like over time we've got more experience and more, you get to say more, um, what's that word called? I don't know. More, yeah, just more experience on the guitar and everything like that. So I just thought we'd just go past our limits and not stay in our safe zone because even our last song sounded pretty good and everything like that. We're just gonna go another gear forward and try to do something different. I think we have like 5 new songs now. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we got 5 new ones.
Yeah,
But
they're a pain in the ass.
oh yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
honestly, it took once. I think one of the songs took like almost a whole month. Well, I think this one that we're working on now is taking another month now, just to
Yeah,
finally get it down as a whole band.
yeah,
Yeah, there's like a
Yeah.
lot of we're trying a lot of these. Like when I was writing before, there's stuff I know we couldn't pull off at the time, and so it was kind of like I was holding back a little bit. Now it's just like everybody's on like full 100% and plus more, and I know everybody in the band can pull it off. So it's just like we're pulling out all the stops. And we're just gonna try to write as the best of our abilities we can for these next ones.
Yeah. Have you guys started playing the new stuff live?
We have I think like what two of the songs I think we've done live, right?
yeah. The first one of the new ones that we played was actually out there in Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
Really good crowd there. Really good music scene that's happening out
That
there.
was crazy over there.
Yeah, there's people like slamming onto the stage and everything. That's been really crazy. And then recently we played at this place called the Albuquerque Press Club, and we played 2 new songs on that one that day. You can check it out on YouTube and everything like that. We have a whole
Did
show
a
that
whole
happened
set.
over we yeah, we had dancers and people just headbanging and shows just like jamming and everything. It's a whole fun video if you want to watch that.
Yeah. It felt good to like just play new stuff on stage again. Just like
Yeah.
it's just like refreshing. So for a minute there, I was getting a little stale. Is this because we kept switching, we kept changing music, like mostly drummers, so it was kind of like a step back every time. We had to relearn the songs. So like it was
Yeah.
hard to write anything new for those years, and it was funny because we actually we had stuff recorded, and then we lost that drummer, so we had to re-record it with the new drummer, and then that drummer
Oh
left, and then we had
no.
to re-record it again. It was just like it was like kind of like a blessing in disguise because like it made Pickles is our drummer now, so and if that never happened, that would have never happened. So it's like damn, we got a crazy drummer just to have to deal with all that stuff first.
Yeah, we had a blessing, but it had to take at least 2 years,
Oh
there's
no.
always a catch somewhere.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, that's cool. It worked out. And yeah, I hope I can check you guys out live. It's been like, I don't know. I don't think I saw you guys live this year. I think I saw you like multiple times in 2022. And but yeah, this year I guess I only get to go out to Albuquerque if there's a really big show that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, since that's like the closest place I can go for like a if I want to check out like a mainstream or not mainstream a national band.
Yeah.
But I think the next show I'm gonna go to is the next month, the Go Ahead and Die with Max Cavalera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh
so I have
yeah.
to plan these out a little like a
Yeah.
month or two in advance.
Yeah. How long is the drive from there?
It's about 2.5 hours if
Oh, okay.
I like stop for gas or eat or use a restroom. But if
Oh,
I fill up on gas and I just go without stopping it about 2 hours.
oh, just pee in a bottle. Oh, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, that and
Yeah.
yeah, like getting gas, like filling up
Yeah.
here and then
Yeah.
just go and um yeah, I think the last show I went to was the Fit for an Autopsy show last month.
Yeah, I missed that one, man. I was
I
kind of
missed that
mad.
one
Yeah,
too. I really want
it
to go
was
to that one.
crazy. The Exodus like set was just ridiculous. But
Damn it.
yeah, I just have to plan these out ahead of time now, and if it usually on the weekend too. If it's a weekend, I'll definitely go to something. But if it's Monday through Friday, it's kind of hard, like especially if I have to work the next day.
Yeah.
We actually
Um,
got invited to do a show January 27th, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At the Jan spot.
Yeah. It's 27th. Yeah. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was
think
just, yeah, it was just offered to us like what, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago?
3 days, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Any other like shows, or do you guys have any like anything like scheduled like for sure coming up?
I know February we have a show in well, we might have like a few dates in Texas, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And then May we have the 4th. We're helping out our homies, Goat Hill Massacre from Colorado, put on a show out here.
Yeah, really badass guys too. Check
Yeah,
them out. Goat Hill Massacre
yeah, they're
in
pretty sick.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, and then later on in the back half of May, we have a West Coast tour that we're planning out right now.
And
Yeah,
then,
nice.
yeah, most of the stuff that shows is happening now. It's not going to be in New Mexico right now. We're just trying to expand out there, trying to get more
Yeah,
out of this area because we play it so much, and we love it and everything like that. But we need to let other people hear what we can do or see what we can do too.
yeah, we're
Is
trying
now
to get out there as much as we can.
Yeah, definitely get some new listeners, new fans by doing that.
Yeah, it's the only way to grow as a band is to travel as much as you can. It's hard, but you got to figure it out. I still don't know how we do it. Like every
yeah,
time
I
we
mean,
hear a tour, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know if we're gonna do it, and then we just do it. I don't know.
yeah, just rough it and just sleep inside the van and just
Yeah, yeah, we rough it. Like, we'd like go old school. We'd sleep in our vehicle. We never get hotels. Well, we go broke. Plus, if we got hotels all the time.
Oh, I'd imagine, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I guess probably better to do that like in the summertime, like maybe fall. But I don't know. It's like freezing outside right now where I'm at.
yeah. It's like right in between like those like seasons because like can't like when we were in Texas during the summer that was horrible.
oh man, especially out there in Houston. Like
Yeah,
we finally got a light guy, and we were telling him it's like, all right, this is gonna be a fun tour, but I'm gonna tell you ahead of time, it's gonna get pretty hot. Like that was like I don't know. We've been to San Antonio so many times.
yeah,
Like I forgot how many times we've been to San Antonio.
yeah. I was like the humidity is like 90% out there, man. Like 90 plus.
Both times, both places too. Actually, and Houston has been
Yeah.
crazy hot, crazy hot. No AC, just heat and humidity.
Yeah, like the only time it's cool is if you're in the van with the AC blasting. But other than that, you're just like even if you're in the shade, it feels like you're getting suffocated.
Constantly, there's no moment that you're going to be dry out there.
Yeah, you're
Like
constantly sweating,
yeah,
and you have to waste gas sleeping with the AC on in the van because
Oh
you'll
man,
die in there. You'll die in there. We almost killed
yeah,
our
that's
drummer
that's
once.
rough.
I
That's
don't think we
rough.
almost killed the drummer because of that too. He
Yeah,
was
Yeah. Oh my
go ahead,
god.
go ahead, go ahead.
was it
Yeah.
out there in Texas? There's a Bucky's gas station, and Joe's never been there. I've been there before, so I was like, dude, you need to check this out. And honestly, we're supposed to be just go in there, use the restroom, and come back out.
Yeah,
But it was his first time being there, and I was showing him everything. I was like, dude, check this out. They have this, they have this. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, they have this, they have these other things. And we were in
yeah.
there for about, well, like an hour.
Almost in like probably 30 or 40 minutes because we checked out all the food stuff that because they have their own food there. They have their own sodas, their own brand. It's like I don't know if you heard of Bucky's. It's like a
Yeah. I've always wanted to check it out. I know it's only in Texas. Yeah.
yeah, and we were looking at like they had shirts, blankets. So I ended up buying shoes, shorts, and a blanket. I don't know why.
You can actually see the blanket on the last tour though too. We posted on our I page on the tour. Yeah, Joe's sleeping with his Bucky blanket.
That's
Yeah, you can
awesome.
see
Yeah.
me even on the tour video too, man. My pink one.
Yeah.
And then anyways, go ahead and continue.
So then after that, when all was done, we were like, I got my little soda. I was like, all right, let's go ahead to the next town. We're all walking. I was like, ugh, this sucks. It's way too hot. And I was like, oh no, pickles is stuck.
Pickles.
We didn't leave the AC on or anything. We just left like we just cracked the window open.
Oh no.
He
We got
slept with full clothes at first, and after that, we got to the van. He's just in his underwear, just super slimy, super just shiny and everything.
yeah, he looked like he just got out of like a pool or something.
Oh man.
We opened the door and he's like, we got you a shirt. He was like so like weak from just being so hot, and he like where he was laying, he had like a sleeping mat, and he like turned like one of those hot dogs on those rollers. It was just so wet, he just turned in place.
They just slid. You can hear like the little wet like on his like body.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
God. Yeah, if it was like any longer, he probably would have like I don't know what happened.
Just like we forgot during the time. Yeah, we forgot our bassist in the van.
Jeez.
uh,
Like
Yeah,
sorry,
that
pick
sounds brutal.
Because yeah, we were supposed to just be in and out, and we end up being in there for too long.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I've never really experienced that, but I lived in Phoenix and yeah, the summer times are brutal. You definitely have to have a air conditioner in your vehicle and definitely just stay inside at all times. Never like step outside like while the sun is still out. That's like probably the most extreme. Well, I lived in North Dakota and like it got like negative like 30 degrees. Like
Damn.
yeah,
Damn.
that was pretty brutal too. Um, and then I want to ask I guess just about the Albuquerque metal scene. You guys mentioned or you mentioned some of the bands you guys have played with, but what are some other bands I guess in you guys' area that you should like let people know to check out?
Uh, at the top of my head is Inhuman Hands. They're actually like trying to like get out there, man.
Yeah, they've been promoting their music, posting lot of things, and really appreciate when you
Videos.
see another band doing going the extra mile. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, because like they're
So
actually putting music video out and like putting music out, and I think they're doing their EP release show this soon. I think.
yeah, I think it's next. I think it's next week or 2 weeks from now. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. We should probably go check it out. Probably
Oh,
take my cameras and stuff.
yeah, and go record it and everything.
Yeah, because I did that one show they did. Remember that was pretty fun. But yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah, that's probably like one of the main bands like in this town that are like trying to get places. You know.
yeah, and I'll say for the other bands that I would like to give a shout out to is the bands that helped us on the way through playing shows with us. Some of them aren't playing right now, but still like to thank them like Archaeactra, Nocturnal Curse,
Mm-hmm.
who else? Kate and Inferni actually. They're sounding pretty good though too.
Yeah.
And Lithopadian.
Yeah.
And there's one more band that I can think on top of my head, but yeah, every time we have to talk about bands, yeah, there goes that wall. It's like I know a lot
Yeah.
of bands, but when you try to talk about it, it's just like
You get put on the spot. Yeah.
yeah, just like uh,
Oh
you
shit.
know,
I think my camera just died on that one.
Oh
Okay.
no, that's good. We can I'm almost done. I want to ask one more question. You guys have a new logo. Like who designs your band's logo?
that would actually be right now the new logo is actually from Joe actually.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's a sick logo.
Thanks. Yeah, it was like an idea I had for a while. I was trying to I don't know, I think we're kind of like oh, this is like the new era of what we're trying to do, and like the music is different and stuff like that. And I think we just I don't know, I think it was just like there you go. Can you see me again?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just I came up with that logo, and I was like, this kind of represents what the sound is going for now. Like the other logo did it, good where we're at in that time. But I think this is like the third logo we've had that we've actually used like over and over again, right, Cam?
Yeah.
We have the original one that just looked like some
It was like
sticks.
yeah, it looks like some sticks that spell the I.
Yeah. And then the second one was the one that we've been using for a while that really like but I think it didn't really like represent what we sounded like, I think, now, anyways. And
Mm.
then this new one, I like the way it looks. It looks more mean, and then plus it looks cool in different colors. It makes the merch pop a lot too.
Yeah. No, I dig the symmetry. I always like the
Oh, thanks.
logos that are symmetric. I don't know, it always catches my eye when I see band logos like that.
Yeah, that's like one of our things. We always mirror that E. Always flip it. We always flip it. The E's always face the opposite way. I always always like that look.
Yeah,
I get
yeah, I
it.
think
It
it's cool.
changes your eye. I'm just kidding.
um, but yeah, no, that I think you guys like kind of answered a lot of my questions that I had. And yeah, we've been going for about an hour or so. So
Really?
I'll probably go
Oh
ahead
yeah.
and I'll probably go ahead and stop the recording. But yeah, thanks for talking with me. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for having us. I saw your podcast and I was like, it'd be really cool to talk to that guy because I seen you been doing like a bunch of different bands.
Yeah,
And
I got really into it. Like I think like 2 years ago, like I was like doing it like every week, and
uh,
I don't know, I got really into it, and then I kind of slowed down this year. I didn't really do as much compared to the last 2 years, and mainly just because I have a 1 year old son now, so
uh,
it's hard to schedule that around him. But no, it's fun. I still want to do it, and I'm gonna try to get over 100. I think I'm on episode 97 now.
yeah, man, that's
I don't
awesome.
know.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna
awesome.
try to get over 100, and then
Get it.
yeah, do that, and I don't know, do something for it. I wanted to like put out like a CD compilation of all the bands as the
That'd be
local
cool.
bands. I can't touch the big national bands, but the local bands I know I can.
Yeah.
I submitted a CD with 10 bands that I've spoken to, but I think it's because I submitted it like 2 weeks ago, but since it's the holidays, I won't get it back for another few more weeks. But yeah, I'll
Oh
probably
yeah.
do. I'll definitely do another CD like that, and yeah, definitely like to have you guys' music on there
Hell
just
yeah.
because you were cool
Yeah.
enough to talk with me. Yeah.
Yeah, we could even get like probably a new track or something.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'll definitely do that for the 2024.
Yeah. And we gotta get you some merch out there, man. We gotta send you something.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I just grabbed like posters off the wall,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys like football. I was like wearing my
Oh,
New
cool.
Mexico Bulls
Oh,
Oh
that's
shirt
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
I'm
because you
a
guys are in
football
New
dude.
Mexico.
That's cool. I
Oh
thought you were gonna
yeah.
flash me, dude. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, yeah. No, New Mexico Bowl,
Hell
the
yeah. That's cool, man.
Mexico State versus Fresno State game last week.
And
Um,
also I was gonna say I want to shout out one more band though too. It's Alliance. I'm not sure if you've seen the video that was posted I think 2 years ago too. They did a
Oh yeah, yeah.
TikTok thing with it was us,
The vocalist.
Alliance, Ocean Harvest, all the bands stuff like that. It was a great thing that, waking up to. I'm just like those guys are
Yeah.
badass.
It helped us. Yeah, it helped us out a lot. It was a ritual torture video, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental torture.
That's
But
cool.
yeah,
yeah,
those guys are cool. I definitely dig Alliance. Yeah, I feel like they were getting bigger and bigger. I think they were like on Sirius XM a few
Yeah.
months ago, or maybe
Yeah.
a
yeah,
few
I
weeks
saw
ago.
that. Yeah, I saw that one on the liquid metal, the Roots, was it? The
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Roots.
Yeah.
one, and then like Matt Heafy has his like Chaos Hour or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, he
yeah,
played Alliance. I think on his little music 1 hour show. I think.
yeah. Those guys are really rad. Really glad to know them, and they're our friends. They're our buddies.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.